welcome to the GESARA show here on this Sunday, May the 1st. Happy May Day to everyone.
Right, absolutely. It's May Day, May Day.
Well, there's some history behind the May Day traditions and whatnot. Maybe I'll explain a little bit of that. If you would, sir, transfer me the con.
Oh, you want the con as well? Okay.
Yes.
Another con job. Right. Make host, it says here. You should have it now.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. Yep, I sure do. Okay. And we are admitting all and getting everybody inside. And again, welcome to the GESARA show with myself, Billy Gilles, and Peter Walker. Hello, say hello, Peter.
Hello, Peter.
Very, very nice. Very nice. Okay, going back to the old George Burns, Gracie Allen routine. Yeah, there we go.
Well, you said say hello, Peter, so I said.
Well, yeah,
Peter.
I know that. All right.
A lot of humor based on just doing exactly what people say rather than what they're expecting.
Right. Exactly.
Hello,
still having
Peter
some people.
Hello,
Marijana. How are you?
Yeah. Marijana. Yes, an interesting name.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Good
a
morning
tasker.
from Australia.
Mariana.
Mariana.
All right, we started something here.
All right, yeah, we did. All right. So let's find out where everyone is from. Go ahead. I see South Dakota, Spain.
I see Manchester.
Yeah, North
Leamington,
Carolina,
England.
Yeah, Belgium.
Belgium in the house.
Amersham, New Mexico, Israel, Cruz.
Barnsley. Hello, Barnsley. Dorset.
Hastings.
Dorchester. Hastings.
Southern California.
Freiburg, Switzerland. Oh, I thought it was Freiburg,
Pennsylvania.
Germany. Amarillo.
Canada.
Sydney,
Belfast.
Australia.
Yeah, Brampton.
Birmingham, UK.
Birmingham, okay.
Petersfield. Haven, Birmingham. Well,
Germany.
Should be coming to the show.
Arizona. Yorkshire. Oklahoma.
Belfast.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the
Chester.
plains.
So quite a lot of British addresses today. Kensington.
Notorious state of Missouri. Yes.
Kensington, Jamaica. Sam Harding. I wonder if she can make it over to the UK.
Athens,
Hi, guys.
Georgia.
Southwest Wales.
Washington State.
West Sussex. I like seeing a lot of UK
Michigan.
towns.
Clearwater, Florida. Yeah, man, people from all over the place. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not back in time.
Kingman, Arizona. I know where Kingman is. Been to Kingman.
I haven't. Sweden.
Long story about that whole area down there, but I won't get into that. I digress.
I have not been. Chertsey. I think I've been there. Lancashire.
Hawaii. Been to Hawaii one time.
Anyway, okay,
Yes.
We got an idea of where people are from.
Yes.
And it's always great, and it's very humbling to see where people are all from.
Oh yeah, it's from everywhere. Literally around the globe. I think we still have some people, joining in here and there. But anyway, lots of things happening.
Well,
a whole bunch of things happening.
Absolutely. A, in the news, and B, in our preparations for Birmingham.
Right. So tell us about Birmingham.
Right. Okay. Well, I got the website up and running. It took me actually a little longer than I thought, but basically I said on the last show it would be ready in half an hour. Well, I was mistaken. Lots of things didn't work, and it was actually ready the next day. But it's definitely working now and working well. At GESARAQFS.com, our normal website, then just add /tickets at the end, and that will take you to the website where you can buy the tickets. And so that is now working. So you can order tickets if you can. For the show, I've also been making other preparations with technology. I've got to get the streaming working. I tried last night and it didn't quite work the way it is. So I've still got some more work to do on that, because it would be rather embarrassing if we want to do a live show and then then we can't get it working on the day. So obviously, I'll be making sure that's working.
Don't worry, you have Sharon to help you out.
That's right. Yeah, and I was rather surprised to find Sharon worked for the BBC, or at least for companies who worked with the BBC. She didn't work for the BBC himself, she told me. That's right. So obviously, I've got someone very professional who can help out with these things.
There you go.
That's great. So I'm looking forward to her assistance. I also got an offer from someone, I forget the name, it was Clay or something, from up north, who is also involved in professional video streaming, and he was offering to provide assistance for free.
Oh,
so
great.
I wrote back to him saying, yeah, great, we need all the help we can get. And so one way or another, we're going to get it working. I'm using, I have some special microphones. They look like this. This is a Rode Wireless Go, for those who are interested. And these are going to be used at the show for the microphones for talking. And basically, I'm using one of them today. Instead of my normal studio microphones, I got this little lavalier microphone.
And it sounds great.
And it sounds good. And on the other end of that cable is this little wireless transmitter. So we wanted to test it last time, but this time it's actually working.
Yeah, I'm not doing the wireless microphone thing. I got this big thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I
just
don't normally do that in the studio today, but you have to test these things. Normally, I have a studio microphone, which it works fine, but this time I thought, let's see if this microphone works fine. So that seems to work. I'm still expecting some hardware to arrive on Monday, and I'm going to have a heavy case, I think, when I fly to the UK. I'll be arriving in Birmingham airport at 3 p.m. on Friday, and that will give me at least a day and a half to prepare. The Charlie's group have now noticed what we're doing. I got a message from Tara, who organizes their show, and she just sent the message saying, just to let you know, there will be no audio or video recording allowed at the event, Peter. That's what she wrote to me. Well, I wasn't planning on doing that anyway. I can always imagine, I was very sure that they weren't going to let me film the actual speakers. They're going to be recording that for their own channel, and that's only right, true. They're paying the bills, and so I will be making handwritten notes of what is said, and that I will be using at our show to tell you what happened. I was not expecting to be able to record and play back that show, and I think it would be wrong to even try. Because it's their copyright, not mine.
So with all that wireless technology, are you protecting yourself with KoviFi?
With what?
KoviFi, COVFEFE.
And what is that?
Well, people have been talking about this. It wasn't a typo. All right, KoviFi is actually the periodic table. If you break it down, it comes down to what protects you from EMF technology.
Well, I have the hydration app for that.
Well, yeah, I know that, but are you using KoviFi to protect you from the EMF technology? Well,
I don't need to. The hydration app is so powerful; it strengthens your body cells that will protect you from wireless transmitters anyway.
Well, there you go. So you got it all covered. Great.
That's right.
We want to make sure you're safe using all the technology. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I've actually got some stick-on stickers which also protect from EMFs as well.
Are you going to cover yourself in sticky notes?
Well, no. It could be a sticky situation if that was the case.
Well, yeah, we don't want any sticky wickets. That's for sure.
Yeah. So anyway. I can always tell if the jokes are working because Sharon is then smiling.
All right, shall we get into it? What we got today, Peter?
Right. Okay. Okay. So I think I filled you in on but I'm just trying to think if I've forgotten anything. Anyway, the ticket sales are a little bit slow at the moment, but we're only just beginning, and we're hoping to get the place full by Friday. For me, the problem is I have a choice between a room with 50 people or a room with 100 people, and I have to decide by Wednesday, because on Wednesday the hotel has given me a deadline. That's the latest I can say I want the room for 100 people. So that's going to depend a little bit on how sales of those rooms of the tickets for the show are going to be. So at the moment we got a room for 50, and I'm still going to do a lot of things to advertise it. So anyway, I expect that to work out. I'm going to put out a message on Dino Chronicles that should bring in quite a few. But at the end of the day, we're going to run the show, and it's going to work out. And I look.
And you said that the hotel that you're doing your thing at is the Jury.
That's
Jury in Birmingham.
Jury's in it's 3 minutes walk from the Hamilton Hilton Hotel where most people are staying. So it's really not a lot far at all. 3 minutes walk and you're there. And now we don't know where the venue is where Charlie is holding his event. He won't be announcing that probably until about Saturday or Friday, or I think Friday they're going to be announcing that. But it doesn't matter. We know it's near the Hamilton Hilton, and so it's going to be walking distance. It's not going to be a problem.
Right.
I'd be surprised if it's at the Jury's Inn, because I asked the Jury's Inn if they had any big events that weekend. They said no.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's.
We know it's not. Yeah, we know it's not at the Jury, but we don't know for sure where they're holding it.
Well, the jury is out on that one.
Yeah.
And okay.
And we're digressing. Okay.
That was digressing.
We get punny every once in a while, and sometimes his puns and my puns don't. We don't mesh because we're of different mindsets. But that's okay.
Yes, that's right. And another thing, we're not running a show on Thursday. We normally have every Sunday, every Thursday. But Thursday is like just before I leave to go to Birmingham, and I simply won't have time to run the show. And we did an extra show anyway, so we still have the same number of shows this month. So no show on Thursday. But for that, an extra show on, a special show on Sunday. We should have a lot of fun. Should be great. And anybody here from the UK who can get to the show, then please do. And let's get on to the news, because I'm sure a lot of you are getting fed up with hearing about the Birmingham show.
There you go.
Okay. So things are moving, and in the RV front. Iraq, I believe, has signed the contract, the ISO 2022. And so, because there were 3 countries holding us up. Iraq has signed it. Venezuela is supposed to have signed it by yesterday. I've not yet heard if they have signed it, but let's assume they have. That just leaves Iran left. And I'm waiting to hear if Iran has signed it, because when all 3, they're the last countries to sign this, then the RV can happen. So that's what we're all waiting for, folks. There have been a lot of fires in food production facilities in the USA, and we think that they are deliberate. It's all part of the agenda to starve people. So not only have they told the farmers not to grow food and paying them extra money not to grow food, they're also destroying lots of food processing factories where food is made into ready meals or whatever, or just processed to be distributed. So the deep state are doing everything they can to destroy the food supply. I believe things like that are happening in Europe, but I haven't noticed quite as much about that as in the USA. Most of the world is also dependent on goods produced in China, where production has been closed down and ports closed, leaving thousands of ships stranded, the consequence of which was expected to be catastrophic by summer. So now let's get on to the GCR, the Global Currency Reset, if anybody wants to know what GCR means. Okay. So on the 1st of May, 2022, which is today, money laundering in every nation state officially ends and rings in a new gold asset-backed currency for the world, freeing major trade from the fixed manipulated slavery and debt-creating trade system of the Rothschilds, dollar and euro empire. That's according to Nick Fleming.
That's really going to piss off the Biden family. They don't have no money.
You're telling me, yeah, telling me they're going to be really pissed off. Not only them, though, a lot of deep state.
Well, yeah, a lot of deep state, but you know, we
so
want them to go
today
broke.
is a Sunday. There's not much trade going to be happening today anyway. So most people will not notice anything today.
Right, and that'll all come out tomorrow morning. You know, it'll be interesting to see how the mainstream media plays all this.
That's right. Yes. In fact, I'm already noticing one thing. You know that the subscriptions are being handled by PayPal.
Yeah.
PayPal have been restricting the money being released more and more. So I'm beginning to wonder if we have to move off PayPal because at the moment, there's like quite a bit of money waiting to be released. It's on hold, and they don't seem to want to release it until the end of May, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
it's extortion, huh?
Well, yeah, it is. You know, they're holding everything up. So, but that's the cabal for you.
That's the cabal, yeah. So I'm going to look into moving the subscriptions over to Stripe, and so direct credit card payments, at least as an alternative, if not instead of, because PayPal is becoming pretty useless for taking these payments at the moment. I'll see if I can get that done in the next day or two, because it is possible, and Stripe so far has never caused any trouble.
Right.
So, so yeah, as I just mentioned, Iraq has signed the ISA 2022 paperwork that opens, of course, the revaluation of the dinar, the Iraqi dinar. A lot of us have Iraqi dinar, including myself, and this was a major holdup for Iraq taking part. Was the ISO 222, if you like,
right,
standard. They've now signed it, so they're now in, and that means that the revaluation of the dinar can now also happen. This was preventing it up to now. So I know a lot of people complain, oh, nothing's happening. Oh, you said this date was coming, then didn't. Yeah, but the thing is, these legal things had to be sorted out, and there was delays. They had a lot of governmental delays in Iraq, which were holding this up. And getting every country in the world to sign up is a difficult thing.
Yeah, whenever you're trying to get 210 countries from around the world in order to all come together to make this all happen. It takes a lot of coordination. It takes a lot of maneuvering and whatnot. It just doesn't happen overnight, folks. And I know we've suggested dates and things of that nature in the past, but again, this is war, and war is a fluid situation, and we have to just like we say all the time, it's on God's time. It's not on our time, but it's happening. Everything is happening behind the scenes.
Well, that's right. It's happening. And I know we all wanted it to happen last year or last month or whenever or yesterday. And on the Telegram group, I see people bitching about these things not happening yet. Well, I'm sorry, we are not making the time. We're only reporting what we're hearing.
Right.
And if it was my decision, it would have happened long ago. And I wish it was my decision.
Not me. No, I don't want to be, I'll wait for it to happen. I'm perfectly fine with, somebody else being in charge of this, especially God being in charge of it.
Well, that's right.
I don't want
what I'm saying is, I think there's a very strong possibility we'll get our money this month.
Yeah.
Just don't tie me to a particular day. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
This month,
right? All right. What else we got?
Right. Okay. Now, after talking about Iraq, Venezuela, one of the other three countries holding us up, as I just said, was due to have signed it by Saturday the 30th. And I have not yet seen any reports whether they actually have. I'm still waiting for that, but that information could come in any time. I'd say Sunday doesn't really matter anyway, because it's not really a banking day today. If we hear on Monday that they've signed, and hopefully Iran has signed as well, then it's full speed ahead. What I am hearing is all these problems should be solved by the 5th of May.
And that's a Code Red Day, isn't it? That's our Code Red Day.
Yeah. So on midnight Tuesday, 26th of April, the United Nations lost control over all sovereign nations, which then began switching their currencies from the World Bank bankrupt SWIFT system to the gold asset-backed SIPS system. So goodbye SWIFT, come in SIPS. And I'm sure they'll be having lots of sips of champagne on that as well.
Hopefully.
That had to happen, though.
Yeah,
Sips
of champagne. I'd rather have sips of single malt scotch, but that's okay.
Sometimes I don't plan these jokes at all, but when I read something like this idea just appears in my head saying you have to say this, So, and I'm stupid enough to give in and tell these things. So the sovereign nations' new currency rates began trading on the back screens, apparently. Now, on Charlie's show, he also said he had seen the new notes. And one comment he made was that the new notes do not have a denomination on them. In other words, they've got 10, 20, 50, 100, but it does not say euro, it does not say dollar, it does not say mark, it doesn't say any currency, it just has the numbers on it. Well, if we're all going one-to-one, why bother?
Yeah, really, that's true. Now, the thing that we did show you in the past is that the rainbow currency that we have seen is not legitimate. Okay?
That's right. Yeah, we already established that the ones we've seen pictures of are not the real
notes that were printed last year to kind of
and
throw everybody
I think currencies
off.
without denomination, just a number, works for me.
Yeah,
I mean, it's always a pain when you have to exchange currencies. I mean, I live in Euroland, and now I'm going to the UK, so I need pounds.
Well, and people posting in here is Social Security going up? Well, not Social Security as we know it is going bye-bye and is being replaced by a different system. So yeah, those stipends that you're normally getting will go up, but it will not be called Social Security. All right, we're just waiting for them to decide what is it actually going to be called. Okay, whether it's called anything at all, I don't know.
So this coming weekend, well, we're in this coming weekend, tier 3 bondholders, tier 3, we're on tier 4, remember? We're on talk for 4B.
Tier 4B.
So tier 3, a level above us. They're getting 10% of the monies, intermediaries, prosperity packages, CMKX, whatever that stands for, anyway. So the tier 3 are getting their payouts this weekend. From what according to this report, anyway. This is from Bruce, by the way, the guy who's reporting it. And Sunday, the 1st of May, is when Fleming also tells us that the whole thing's so. Lots of these gurus, these experts, are reporting pretty much it's all happening now. And all right, now I've got what the next I've underlined on both sides, so it must be important. We expect tier 4B, that's us, the internet group, who hold Zim bonds and 210 nations' foreign currencies to be revalued. And the notifications, and a lot of people have been asking, when are we going to be able to get the notifications so that we can go for appointments? Well, the latest date we're getting there now is that the notifications should start where we can then make appointments on Tuesday, the 3rd of May. So we have a couple more days to wait. And then if this report is correct, and I'm hoping it is, but you never know with these things. I mean, we've had so many false starts. But if this report is correct, then certainly not before Tuesday, the 3rd of May, we should be getting the chance to make an appointments, and appointments can start as of the 4th of May. So obviously not on the 3rd. So as of the 4th of May, you can make appointments to go and exchange a currency. And when they're talking about late morning, now I presume that's US time, late morning. So if you're in Europe or Australia, wherever, it could be the next day because of all the time differences around the world. So it could be the 5th of May when we start. I say these things have been moving. I say it's all these 3 countries which have been delaying it. It should have happened a long time ago.
Right.
So let's move on to the next page. I actually had a chance to read this in advance this time and get prepared a bit better. Beneath China's Three Gorges Dam, there are apparently nuclear reactors protecting the Big Pharma and Silk Road and Deep State Central Wuhan lab. Apparently, these nuclear reactors or nuclear bombs, I don't know what it is exactly, are there. They are being deactivated.
That's also where the main Bitcoin servers are.
Yeah, that's right. That's also where when that happens and it goes offline, then it's bye Bitcoin. So if you have any Bitcoin left, get rid of it right now.
Ethereum too.
That's Ethereum, so yes. But XRP, I think, is okay. That's the new one, which does.
Well, that's XRP Ripple. That's on the Starlink QFS system.
That's right. Yeah. So move it to XRP, and you're fine. 60 to 75% of Bitcoin mining is owned by the Chinese Communist Party, and the alliance is going to take out the Bitcoin mining, and it will destroy the deep state funding used for child trafficking. And when that happens, we get the QFS. Sounds good to me. And when Big Pharma has been taken out, now that can take a little longer to happen because Big Pharma is a big organization, lots of big companies, they're very intertwined. But once that is out, taken over, then the new natural cures and the Tesla 6,000 Tesla patents will be released, including the medbeds. So the medbeds will be taking over from Big Pharma. And I think that is something we're all looking forward to, particularly any of us who have any disabilities, etc. I mean, all of us could do a little bit of an improvement.
Yep, can't happen soon enough. That's for sure.
Only yesterday, I got an email from one of the members of this group who was worried about sort of black marks in my eyes. Thinking, oh, it could be the big C or something like that. So, so let me tell you all what I replied. Basically, I've been working extremely hard and doing very short nights and on because I've just been trying to catch up on the work. And I've been so inundated in emails and work for Birmingham that I just haven't been getting enough sleep. But another reason, and the medical reason, is I have a slight deficiency in proteins because I'm vegan. And so I'm upping the dose of the protein shake, which I drink, which tastes nice. It's chocolatey, and that should handle that issue. It's I go to a doctor regularly. I don't have any big C issues to worry about. So I thought I'd just say that before someone else asked me about that. Okay.
Well, I know you've been putting in some long hours
on me right now.
Yeah, I know you've been putting in some long hours. It's like we talk all the time, and I'm like, my good gosh, it's 10 o'clock in the evening in my time, and that's 7 hours. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. 4 or 5 in the morning your time, and you're still up at it.
Well, yeah. Let me tell you, last night I went to bed at 6 in the morning.
Yeah,
my time. 6 in the morning, my time,
which is 11 p.m. my time.
And I got up again at I think 11. I got up at 11 because I still had so much to do. So I'm
We've
not
all
getting a
been,
lot of sleep right now because it's just too much to do. But
yeah,
I'm getting there. I'm getting things done. It's just having a temporary effect on me.
right.
I'm really looking to having a nice relaxing time in Birmingham. Well, probably not that relaxing actually.
Yeah, well, that you're going to be burning the midnight oil there too. So,
Well, probably yes, but then I won't have all these computers in here. I'll just have a little notebook and you know, I'll be more concentrated on the here and now, what's happening in Birmingham, rather than you know, a lot of the other things. I say that's the reason why we're not doing a show on Thursday, because it's just too tight. I wouldn't get it edited in time before I had to leave, and
right.
so no show on Thursday for a good reason. Anyway, so basically when when Three Gorges goes, then all the deep state will be saying, damn.
Damn.
Dam busters and all
Damn.
that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Everybody say it with me together. Damn.
Wow. Damn. Mind you, I feel sorry for anybody if those dams do burst. Then I do feel sorry for anybody living in.
Oh yeah, that would it will
downstream
be
from
it will
that,
be a
because it's gonna
horrible
be a massive
tragedy.
flood.
But I think there's a lot of people in the know over there that are kind of paving the way and getting people out of the way. You know, what we're seeing on the mainstream media as far as arrests and things like that are concerned, and doing lockdowns, that may be a white hat operation to keep people safe when it does go.
And what China does have is they do have these ghost cities which are already built and just empty, and
Yeah,
they can
yeah,
just move the people into those.
yeah, exactly.
So
We've
there's no
seen reports
housing
of that.
problem. They have
Hmm.
these big ghost cities. I don't know why they built them. Maybe it was for today. I don't know.
Could be.
So what else have we got here? Military intelligence has intercepted the deep state's 16-year plan to destroy America. The 2016 election was rigged for Hillary, but the White Hat's military were able to install Trump. They also, another reason for them to say damn, yeah? The 2020 election was a trap. Trump run uncontested. An election monitoring surveillance system was installed at the US Cyber Command, Space Force, and the Shadow Warriors of the Cyber Brigade. Soon we will see the real numbers. Well, I think the real numbers we know, it's something like 80% voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, he actually won a lot of states that
I hear
normally
he
turn
won
blue.
every state, including
he did.
California.
Yeah,
and New
even
York.
California and New York, and Illinois, which are traditionally blue states, but they fudged the numbers. They came in and they did nefarious things and ballot harvesting and all of that kind of good stuff, and then messed with the Dominion voting machines on top of it.
Yes. So in the deep state, everything is connected, from the CIA mind control, satanic ritual abuse, and human sacrifice of children, to child sex, organ and adrenochrome trafficking, to the Vatican. Oh, I should have said that because we put these videos on. Don't you have to beat that if they put this on YouTube, huh? There's
Right.
lots of words which are forbidden on that platform. All right, I'll have to figure that in editing. Let me just check. Yeah, 1 second. Just one minor technical thing to fix. Good. Right, done. So what else have I got? That was... a lot of people have been asking about that Michelle Fielding interview with Nicholas Benjamin. I think that was discussed by Dave and by Charlie as well. I think Charlie hasn't actually seen it.
And I also saw that Nick V did a interview with David Mahoney about that whole thing. I haven't seen it as yet, but my whole feeling on everything is, what was she channeling? Okay. There is the big question. All right. Because, it did not resonate with me all of that well because she was not channeling with God. She was channeling with entities that were
Right.
not of God. And therein lies the problem with me is where, who was she channeling and how was it, how was it received and whatnot? Could it have been somebody throwing her off? Don't know for sure.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I've learned from Gerd, who's also very much into channeling. In fact, he just sent me some channeling to put on the forum. And he says there are good and bad entities which provide you with information, and you have to be careful with whom you're communicating.
Right.
And if a bad entity wants to feed this misinformation, then that can happen, and it's very easy to be fooled.
It is very easy to be fooled because that's, Satan has so many different ways to trick you and use you to spread misinformation and whatnot. So again, I question it because it was not something that she said was from God, but from an entity. All right. That was not of God.
So I've the only point I still had was on graphene hydroxide, but I think we all know that. So I'll just skip that one. Okay, with that, I've got through the intel I wanted to discuss directly today. I know we've been saying it for a long time that it's just around the corner, and I know there's a lot of frustration about when you say dates, but believe me, I'm just as frustrated because I looked at some old recordings of mine and I was saying, it was just around the corner about 4 months ago. We're being fooled as well. It's not us setting the dates. All we can do is report the best intel we are hearing. But at the end of the day, it's not us saying it, we're just reporting what is happening. We are trying really hard to get the most accurate information we can. But as is always, how do you fact check this? It's difficult.
Yeah,
unless
it
you
really
have to
is
have
difficult.
a direct link to Reno, as Charlie claims to have, but then he's not allowed to say what they tell him. Or you just use a multiple of resources as we do, and do your best to get the information out there.
And just ask God for wisdom and discernment regarding all information that you come across. It comes down to your own feelings, to your own gut instinct, to what God is speaking to you. And I think that's the most important things that we have to consider when moving forward with things. Are we ready to take some questions here, Peter?
I think so, yes.
All right, great. Dave Stone. Welcome, Dave. Dave, there you are. Okay.
I'll turn the video on.
Yeah, great.
Yes. My dad just called. I'll have to call him back. Sorry, Dad.
Send him our regards.
Yes. My question I have is on your app. The cell. By the way, thank you guys for what you do. It's great information that you're providing to us, and it's a great.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to use that cell well-being app.
Yes.
And the camera doesn't light up. The flash.
Flash doesn't light. Are you using an iPhone or an Apple or,
no,
an Android?
Well, I've done all the tech things that I think should work. First of all, yes, it's an Android. It's a Samsung Note 20 Ultra. Because I like the bigger screen.
Yeah, sure.
And then I made sure that the settings, the permissions are allowed, to access the browser. I'm using the Brave browser, which is a de-Googled Chrome. It has all the bad crap taken out, I guess.
Right.
And then I also made sure that my camera has the flash turned on, automatic turned on. And nothing I'm doing seems to make that work. I then tried to send an email to the service, both from my phone and also from my desktop, and that got kicked back. So I don't know that that's your company, but I just want to let you know that that was not working either.
Okay, well, if you're using the because the hydrationapp.com redirects you to app.cell-wellbeing.com.
Yes.
Now that is run by the people in Hong Kong.
Okay.
I run what's on hydration-app.com. So that's how they are. So the actual servers are in Hong Kong. And that's run by the people, and I know the people directly. I'll direct link to them, so they're not responding. I can certainly reach them.
Well, it's a what is that? It's the error that mailer demon thing that the email didn't even go through.
Right. Yeah. Okay. What concerns me is the fact you're saying you've got a de-Googled phone, and
no, it's the Brave. I'm sorry, it's the Brave browser.
The Brave browser.
Yeah, Brave browser, and it's essentially Brave, just like your browser.
I know
you
Brave.
have on
I
your
use
desktop. It's essentially it's.
I know Brave. I have it
Google
as well.
Chrome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It should work. I have Brave on my phone as well, and it's working with me. I do sometimes find that if the light does sometimes not go on, and if you press the start button a second time, it then does go on.
No, I've tried that, but
You've tried that.
yes.
Okay, because normally that solves the problem. They just tap it a second time, the light goes on. There's obviously something wrong. I would try reinstalling the app, and then basically we have to go through that with the guys in Hong Kong, because they handle the technology there, and they developed. I mean, I've tried it on many phones, and I've always got it to work. So I don't know why it's not working on yours.
Yes. So, how do I get a hold of them if I get the mailer demon, saying there's undeliverable email to them?
So who are you writing? Which email address are you writing to?
It was going to appadmin@cell-wellbeing.com.
Appadmin@cell-wellbeing.
So that's supposedly was their contact information from the app.
Right. Okay. I will I will try and contact them and ask them about that if they are having problems with that email address, because I contact them via WhatsApp. I have their WhatsApp address.
Okay.
And I have a direct link to them via WhatsApp, and that always works.
Okay. What if I don't have WhatsApp?
Well, no, I'm the one who communicates with them with WhatsApp.
Yes.
I don't know if they let everybody else contact them via WhatsApp, but certainly I can reach them there. In fact, I communicated with Ian Lyons, who was the developer or the owner of the company, only yesterday, because I was asking him about possibly demonstrating the app in front of a live audience, because we've done it over an online audience, but it's of course a very different situation when you're in a room full of people.
Okay.
And he replied on that. And so, okay, if you can send me an email via the forum giving me all the details, and I will forward that on to them, and then we'll see if they can get a reply.
Okay, so where do I find it within the forum, just so I know?
Just contact us.
Contact us button at the bottom.
Okay, at the bottom. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Okay, and give me all the technique. Give me your username, which you use on the app as well.
Will do.
And then I can forward that on, and then they can look into it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Dave. All right.
Yes.
You have a great day. Karen
you too.
Doss.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
I turned on my camera, but I'm looking a little scary this morning, so I don't want to do
You're
this.
looking- Come on, we don't believe that. We don't
But
believe
anyway,
that.
so first of all, I love the cell water. I have it. I use it. I love it. So I thank you for that so much. My plants love it. My hummingbirds love it. Everybody loves it. But I wanted to share something today, and I don't know if you guys have heard this or know this, but I've heard that 107, Kelly Cassidy, we're now in DEFCON 2. Are you aware of that?
I don't know.
I
I
have
don't
not
have
heard the DEF CON change at this point.
No, I haven't heard that, and
Yeah.
I don't have them on quick dial either.
Well, I don't know why not. You guys are pretty connected. But anyway, what they were saying was that it's like military ready to go in 6 hours. And I guess Texas underground, that's where the treasury is. So it
Mhm.
sounds like it's the deep state that's Texas underground there, which I think is a little bit frightening and scary. And there's a lady, I don't know if you guys, have you heard of a Kim Goguen?
Yeah, we know her.
What do
Yeah,
you
Yes.
think of her?
she's a disinformation agent.
Mhm.
Is she?
I wouldn't trust
Yep.
her, and I wouldn't trust anything she says.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Okay, good, because I'm like going, oh dear Lord.
Yeah, no, don't. I've seen some of her work. I mean, if you just listen to the way she speaks, you can tell she's not real.
Okay, I know you're a Trekkie guy, so I didn't know if you maybe were putting credibility in her. But,
No, I do not see put any. Why would Trekkie have anything to do with Kim Gogoran? I mean,
because she's connected to the others, people from other worlds. She's like quite the connected one with all the,
well, she can claim anything she likes. Doesn't mean it's true.
That's very true.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
true. Well, anyway, so I just wanted to know if you knew that, and if you knew that we were in DEF CON 2, that's what I heard. And
Yeah.
No.
107 said that as well too, so.
I
Well,
have not heard
whatever
of the
that means.
DEF CON change. I will have to check that out.
yeah, I haven't looked at DEF CON level, so I don't know that, but it would not be surprising because we're getting to the hard end of the deep state, and you never know what they have as emergency means of attacking us all. So
Mhm.
be
Didn't
careful,
you
be
say we
prepared
were
for
gonna-
anything.
Right, and didn't you say we were going to be going into military law here soon?
That is what happens when GESARA takes place.
That's
Yes.
correct.
Okay, so that kind of plays hand in hand.
Yeah.
Okay,
Here,
well,
here in the
that's-
United States, the way it works is whenever the Biden administration is totally defunct, all right, and both the president, vice president, and the speaker of the House are implicated in crimes against humanity and treason, along with the Secretary of State. Those four people, if they're all indicted and fall under that, then what we have is a dysfunctional government. And under
Right.
the Constitution and the Law of War Manual, that gives the military total control over the United States. And they have 120 days to set up new elections to elect a new government.
That's right.
Okay. Okay.
So, but that's not just the USA, that's worldwide.
Right. Well, particularly here in the United States, via the Law of War Manual and the Constitution, that's what happens here in the United States.
That's right. I mean, I've heard of a lot of military movement in Germany and in the
Mhm.
Netherlands, and probably in other countries as well. I mean, I can only speak for Germany because I live here and I'm tuned into German sources as well. I don't just listen to English language sources, I listen to German language sources as well.
Yeah.
So I've been hearing, for example, in Germany, you have webcams on motorways which have all been switched off, but it doesn't stop. But it doesn't stop people going to a motorway bridge and just watching what's going down the motorway. And well, they call them Autobahn here, is the German word for and in fact, motorway is the British term. So for you Americans, I'd have to say freeway, wouldn't I?
Right. Yeah, we say freeway or highway or some,
So three languages and three different words for the same thing.
Right. All right, Karen. But thank you.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Appreciate it. All right. And moving on, Karen or Kareen?
Karen.
Karin, a long
Karen.
day.
Karen.
Long
Oh,
day.
Karen, yeah.
Yes, car in the garage, car insurance.
Okay.
Car insurance. Oh, that's an interesting way.
Yes.
One of my ex-girlfriends was called Karen a very long time ago.
Well, I was born in Germany.
What? You were born in
Okay.
Germany? Yeah,
Yes.
I would have thought so with a name like that.
Yeah, my mother was German. Well, my mother's Prussian, actually.
She's Prussian.
Okay.
A Prussian refugee, apparently. Yes.
So do you speak German?
Sadly, no. She died and we came back to England.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Sorry to hear that.
So, well, that's a very long time ago.
So you're in the UK now?
No, I'm in Spain.
Oh, you're in Spain. Okay.
Yes.
We are getting mixed up in our countries, aren't we? Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you for everything you're doing. And a very, very important question. Very, very important. I've waited a long time for the right forum to ask this question. And I think finally, with you and Billy, I'm in the right place.
Well, let's hope so.
And here's the question. Okay. In Star Trek,
Yes.
Why does sometimes when the captain leaves the ship, sometimes he says to his second in command, you have the con, and sometimes he says you have the bridge?
Right.
Well, it's really terminology. The bridge in the original series, it was more the bridge. In the next generation, it was more the con.
Right.
It's just a difference in terminology. We're talking Caribbean versus Caribbean. Okay.
Right.
I believe the con is a military term which is used today, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, it is.
So that comes from the military. Whereas in Gene Roddenberry back at then, he wanted to see Starfleet as being a non-military civilian organization.
Right. Okay.
So he was avoiding the term con because he wanted to say this is like, you know, not a military ship. It's a peace ship. You know?
Right. So it's not an escalation in the scale of the problem or the danger into which they might be going or anything like it. Simply
no, it's literally a matter of passing over command to the second in command.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
Anything else?
No.
All right.
In fact, on the Star Trek New Voyages series, which I'm involved with, we have an episode exactly on this topic called Center Seat. It's a short episode.
Yeah.
I could even always play it here. It's only about a few minutes long.
Oh, please.
And it's very well done. So it's one of our earliest short episodes.
Great.
And it's great. It's about Sulu taking back command after coming back from command training, and it is our Corona episode.
Oh.
Okay. All right. But thank you, Karen. All right.
Just a small spoiler. When I say Corona episode,
Yeah.
It's called that because they're flying towards the sun, the corona of the sun, not the disease.
Not the Rona.
Okay, but thank you.
Okay.
All right, Miranda?
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I wanted to ask, which of the videos that you did, the Zoom call recordings, are the instructions for this app, the water app on our phones? Because I bought the app just 2 days ago, but I wanted to find your very good directions on exactly how to use it, Peter.
Well, if you go to hydration-app.com, in the support area, there is very detailed instructions on how to use it. That's the best place to go, I would say.
Somebody said about stirring water anti-clockwise. They just said it in chat.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
They don't say anything about stirring water that I could see.
Yes, well, it's Ian Lyons, the developer, who tells us to do that. And if you look on that website, you'll find an interview with Ian Lyons, and he talks about that in the interview and explaining why that's important. Now, he doesn't call it anti-clockwise because the word anti will be misunderstood as something bad. It's not. It's just literally
counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. So he says to the left, which he thinks is a more positive term.
Is that on your website you've made for it, Peter?
That's on the hydration-app.com website. You'll find the interview with Ian Lyons there, and there you'll find details like that in much more detail.
Also, the other question was this, that regarding the show next week, the live event running, which I'm definitely going to buy a ticket, and I'm really aiming at coming.
That would be great.
I hope I do. And what I was thinking was, because I don't know about anybody else, but having a get together, it's always nice having a bit of food. And although you say that there will be some niblets or something.
Yeah, there'll be snacks provided by the hotel. They're charging me, I think, about £4 or £5 per person for tea, coffee, and snacks and stuff like that. So that will be available because it's not a dinner. The other event which Charlie was doing the dinner event, but there are snacks.
What I thought, because to be honest, from my experience of event hotels giving snacks, it's not very exciting. You have one peanut and half a biscuit.
Well, that's what I'm there for, to bring in the excitement. Come on.
Right.
A full-on show. Anyway, what I'm suggesting is that we all, like parties where they say bring a bottle. That if you bring some nice little snack, I mean, it could be like cold sausages or coleslaw, I don't know, things like that, that we really could have a better little snack together.
Well, that's all the hotel offered me. That the hotel did not offer me as any other.
What she's talking about is bring your own and do like a potluck type thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the hotel would be happy with that, to be honest.
Well, what can they say if we're there with our food? They can't say anything.
Well, take that up with the hotel. I don't want to be the one who say you should do that. All right.
Oh no. Oh, okay. But so in other words, you won't ban my sausages.
I won't care. But it's a matter of whether the hotel cares.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. Now, there are certain venues and I know this to be true here in the United States, they will not let you bring any food or beverage in from outside. Okay. And it's by code, by municipality, and they will not allow it. All right. And it's a health safety reason. Okay. Because if somebody brings something in from the outside and the hotel allows it, and somebody gets sick from the stuff that is brought from the outside without prior knowledge of the hotel, they could be held liable for anybody who got sick. So it's all the 3D laws and everything else that we have to deal with. Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. That was it then.
All right. Thank you, Miranda.
Bye.
Okay.
Nancy.
Hello.
Hello, Nancy.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 denoting little or no say-so, and 10 denoting a large amount of say-so or influence, what amount of say-so do each of you think that Charlie Ward, and especially Simon Parks, have in the granting and approval of projects for individual applicants?
I don't think they have any say. They're not the ones deciding. It's when you go to the appointment with your Zim bonds or whatever, it's the people at the appointment who have to say so, not Charlie or Simon.
The question is are you wanting to fold it into Simon's organization, Connecting Consciousness, and run the project through Connecting Consciousness? That is entirely up to you. It is not something that is needed. And it is something that you can do as a collective group, all right, to meld your projects together under one umbrella of Connecting Consciousness, but it is not required. No.
Okay, that's great, because, well, I wouldn't be doing it with consciousness based on certain events and goings on. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. There were some things that happened with Connecting Consciousness that I will not delve into at this point.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. My brother goes to their events. He's quite happy.
Right. There was a big calling out of our Missouri State chapter in Simon's recent news update. And
no, I did see it actually on you took the update from the 29th.
Right, exactly.
I saw that last night. Yes.
It threw a lot of people for a whim, and there's a big discussion going on about it on the Connecting Consciousness forum. So, but I will just leave it at that. All right, Sam Harding, go ahead, Sam. How you doing?
Hi guys, all good, thank you. Okay.
I was devastated. I heard you won't be able to make it to the conference.
I know, I'm not back in time. I was more devastated.
Yeah,
you're still in Jamaica.
Really? Yes.
I thought Sam will be there, but no.
Oh, I would have rallied a whole group.
Yeah.
But no, it's all good. Okay, just a quick one. So I grew up in the countryside within England, and just speaking on the farmland issue, I didn't really know, this wasn't really a known thing, but our government, the UK government, pay farmers to not grow crops on a percentage of their land, and they call that set aside. And the reason they give to the farmers, they say to them, sorry, but like the corn storage units are full up, we can't actually take more. So they actually tell them this, and I thought, You know, it's all coming out now, and people are really surprised. I think, but I've known this for years, and you know. But anyway, that was that.
Yeah. The same thing has happened here in the United States for years. They've told the farmers to plow under their crops, and they pay them for it.
Yeah.
With our tax dollars.
Yeah, and not only that, if they ignore the government and grow the crops, they then lose any government subsidies as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. The other one was I don't know if anybody's picked up on it, but when I make a comment on the Telegram channel, like I think I've only ever commented 4 times in the whole of that it's existed, and every single time I always get somebody personally message me pretending to be you guys, and it's really getting on my nerves.
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of take offense to it. I think, do you really think I'm that stupid? Like, honestly.
So the question is it on Peter's Telegram group or my Telegram?
Mine, I think.
It's the GESARA one.
Yeah, it's mine. I've seen her commenting on it. Yeah, I saw your comment where you placed it, posted what they were writing to you. I think they're just looking for easy targets, and
I get offended by that.
Yeah, and obviously they didn't get an easy target with you because I like the way you fought back. Yeah.
All right. Here is what I would do with that. Okay, I would comment in Peter's Telegram group that so and so, this person who is part of your group has been on the Telegram channel has been contacting you. Let Peter know about it. Okay. And that way he can delete all of their posts and ban them from.
The thing is, they don't post publicly.
They don't post publicly.
They don't put what they do is they go into the group, because I did a lot of investigation into what was happening here. What they do is they go into the group and they look for people who've just posted something, and then they try and send a private message to these people, pretending to be me, and saying, oh, how long have you been with the group, that kind of thing. And it's nearly always the same. You can always tell it's not us, because at the top of the message it will say add contact or block contact. Well, just click on the block contact, and that person will leave you alone.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Now the best solution is move to the forum. On the forum, there are no scammers, because
Well,
they can't do that.
I'll just refrain from commenting from now on. I'll just read and not comment, but I've been meaning
to delete all the users in the user group, because you can still comment as a non-user, and it's really when you're a user of the group that you're more susceptible to being contacted,
right?
Because then you appear in the members list. If you're not a member of that group, you're not in the members list, and then they will only see you at best if you post something. That is actually a danger. But the best thing of all is just move your communications, your contacts over to the forum, because that's under our control, and we have much better means of protecting people on the forum than we do on Telegram.
Will do. Thank you, Peter. One last thing, Michelle Fielding. Sorry, could you tell me where I can find that interview, please? I'd like to check that out.
It was done by Nick V. Okay, Nicholas Villanueva.
Nicholas Villanueva and Michael Fielding. It was a recent interview. If you just look for those on BitChute, you'll find them.
Okay, it's very interesting, because I channel a lot, and I had an instance where a negative entity infiltrated my spirit team. They pretended to be one of the team, and what they start off doing is that they come with really good information, and it's actually really accurate, because they don't want to be identified as something negative to begin with, because you'll just get rid of them, you see. So they're very, very clever, but no, it's interesting. I just want to see what she brought through, because they can actually bring through truthful things that make it look slightly different. Do you see what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. You could be saying they could be saying to you it's all part of something great and beneficial and whatnot, but then throw in disinformation into that as well.
That's right.
That's why I don't listen to the voices coming into me that are being negative. Okay.
No.
Well, as
You
I
know,
say, it's very hard to know the negative, because what they can do, they can cloak their intentions, you see.
Oh,
So
yeah.
sometimes it's very hard. So what my guy did, well, sorry, the impersonator did, he actually showed me, he took me down a tunnel and showed me an underground dump before I even knew about this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
these are entities, these are children that need to be rescued. And
That's
actually
right.
it was trying to set a trap for me. Do you see what I'm saying? So
Mm.
it was, yeah. So it was actually showing me something truthful, but it was trying to set a trap for me.
Right.
So
right.
Okay.
yeah, so
What
that's
I'm going to do is on the forum, I'm going to open a section for talking about
Mhm.
channeling and stuff like that.
yeah.
Gerd has already asked me to do that. And I
Mm.
think if you're interested in the topic as well, and I'm sure there are other people, then I think that's probably a worthy reason to open a special channel for those kind of discussions.
Definitely.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
I
Take care.
don't
Thank you.
I don't do any channeling myself. But I do listen to Gerd, who tells me a lot of these things.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. All right. And Matthew.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure. Go ahead,
absolutely.
Matthew.
Great. Peter, your previous show, you had a video on the redemption process, 100-year term versus 25-year term for humanitarian projects. So is it flexible, I guess, depending on the scale of the project?
Well, yes, of course it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second question, is the currency revaluation announcement to the world still occurring before the currency redemption appointments?
Well, we don't know exactly, because these three countries have thrown everything a little bit off track for a few days, because of these three countries which had not yet signed the ISO 222 contract. But as I say, that is happening right now. And it is very possible that if there is a window, I just read, I think as of Tuesday, we could start getting the opportunity to make appointments. And if the announcement is going to be later that in the week, I think it probably will. I think we will have some advance time. But at the end of the day, time will tell. It's very hard to get exact info on that. But it does make sense for us to be ahead of the game a few days at least.
Okay, great. That answers my question. It sort of clarifies that the currency revaluation announcement to the world is not a fixed date. It's actually flexible.
It's always been flexible.
It's always been flexible.
It's always about the events. The dates given have always been preliminarily, because they're tied to events which have to happen. And when the events then don't happen on time, it then pushes everything backwards.
Okay.
That's why
last quick question. Can you elaborate on the Thursday, 5th of May Code Red Day?
We're expecting things to happen. It's called, May 5th is being called a Code Red Day. Now, what that actually means, we don't know. We know in the Q drops, 5-5 has been mentioned many times. 5 by 5 actually means in communication terms that you hear me loud and clear. All right. But could it have been a date? We don't know. May the 5th is coming up shortly, and it has been said it is a Code Red event day. And
they couldn't do it on the 4th, because that's the May the 4th is Star Trek Day. No, Star Wars Day.
Star Wars Day.
Star Wars Day. So, May the 4th be with you. And after that, we win.
Thanks very much, Peter and Billy. Thanks very much.
All right. Thank you, Matthew.
You're welcome.
All right. Debbie.
So let's, Debbie, where is she? I can't see her.
Debbie Hubachek.
Hi.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, I have a question. Okay, so I've heard different things about the property taxes. So the other day I heard that property taxes may not go away because it's a state and local. And so have y'all heard anything about property taxes? Because in Texas, our property taxes have just gone crazy in our homes.
Yeah, that's a cabal thing. All taxes are a cabal thing. All right. So I don't think that there'll be any taxes as far as property taxes and things of that nature are concerned that will be coming through. All right. So from my comprehension of things, The only tax there will be would be 17% on new non-essential items. That would be it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's all. Thank you
All
very
right.
much. Thank you both for all you do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Debbie. All right, Sherry.
Hi, thank you again for today. I just need a little clarification. I listened to something that Nick Fleming put out, and it was the first time I listened to him. It was from about 2 days ago. And about the ZIM, I just want to read what he said about it. I'm so confused. He said that they're not sure about what the rate would be, and there's a possibility they might not do anything with the ZIM bond. And the other ZIM currencies, he said, were okay. He said the ZIM bond was not compliant with the ISO 2022, and it might just be used for a souvenir. I'm very confused. Could you clarify, please?
Well, it's not a currency, is it? The ZIM bond is not a currency. It was deliberately used for these projects.
And that's the one that we're buying.
Well, yeah,
right. The 2008 AA ZIM note is not officially currency anymore.
Okay.
It cannot be traded anywhere for currency redemption. It is considered a note, or also what is known as a bearer bond. Okay. That can be cashed in at a later time for face value. All right. There is a much difference in between currency and a bearer bond.
Okay, and is there some validity to the fact that a decision might be made that they will not, the RV will not apply to these bearer bonds?
I have had no information regarding anything other than what we have been saying the entire time.
Well, yeah, what I would say is the revaluation is for the dinar, for the bolivar, for the dong. Those are currencies which are getting a new value. So that's why it's a revaluation. Whereas the ZIM is for projects. It can't be revalued because it doesn't have a value.
That makes sense.
It has value less.
Right,
and it is specifically tied to humanitarian projects. So it's specifically designed for, if you have a project to help humanity, then you use that as a bond to get you in the door so that you can then negotiate for your project. Now, as a side effect of you running a project, you get paid 30 million per 100 trillion ton in order to cover your own costs over the time, so that you're not profit orientated, because all the money you need for yourself you've already been given, even if you're getting it on a monthly basis. We're not quite sure. But the idea is that you do your humanitarian project without a profit orientation because you've already got enough money to pay all your costs.
Okay, now that makes sense to me because you guys have been saying that, explaining that for a little bit, but I was just concerned about him saying that because there's no rate yet determined for the ZIM bond, and they're not sure if they're going to do anything with it at all. And I was wondering if there's validity there.
I think
affect the project.
Look, there's always going to be confusion and disinformation. The ZIM bonds, I haven't been telling us about the ZIM bonds all this time to then not do anything with it. It's just that I think the money comes from a different source as well as for the other currencies. So it is just a separate project. I know it's easy to clump them all together as one thing, but they're not. The ZIM bond for projects is a different pot than the money for changing your dinars and dong and stuff. So they are actually to be seen as separate entities.
I see. Thank you very much for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sherry. And moving on, Kirky. Hello.
Hello,
How are things in Greece today?
Not so warm, but it's springtime.
Oh yeah,
Spring,
kind of like
right.
here in St. Louis. It's cool, but it's very sunny and beautiful outside.
Yeah, it's spring over here too in Germany, strangely enough.
Yes.
Probably in Birmingham as well.
Oh, nice. Yes, we will send some sun to you.
Yeah, I think you get more in Greece.
Yes. A friend of mine who's she's aware and she's awakened. She has a condition, anyway, that's not the case, but she's going to a physiotherapy unit. And she sent me a message yesterday that the first med bed is in Greece. came from Germany, and it's with this physio unit. She sent me a picture, and I asked her, did you get on it? Because she's got an MS condition. She's going to physio in with them, these people. And she said, yes, I went in. I'm just wondering how genuine it may be, this med bed.
Well, we don't know.
Well, let me answer that. There are a few companies calling their medical devices med beds, including one from Germany, right? And I'll tell you how to tell the difference. The real ones cost you nothing to be treated. The fake ones, they all want to charge you money for treatment or for the device or whatever. So the real ones, they're run by the military, there's no charge. And you have to go to the center, and that's where you'll be treated, and they're big units. And but I've seen ones like, I think medbed.com or something, they have a virtual medbed, which they apparently, you can be treated at home with this, and they'll give you a free treatment for 7 days, and otherwise you have to pay them something like 3,000 or 4,000 to buy the rights. Now it may very well work, and I have heard positive things, but that is not the med beds which we're talking about.
Okay, fair enough. And I tried to get the app, and I still didn't succeed. But maybe I didn't follow the instructions, or I was tired anyway. Do I have to go on my iPhone and not on the computer?
For the hydration app, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, yes.
Do
I have to use my phone?
You have to use it on your phone, absolutely. On your computer, it's not going to work.
I was not able to find the support on the iPhone, and that's why I went onto the computer, onto the laptop.
Yeah. If you go to hydration-app.com and then go to the support area, you'll find the full instructions.
I will try again.
Yeah, try again. But obviously the app has to run on the phone.
All right, thank you,
Do I have a code? Do I have a code? Because it says a discount. Do I have a code from you?
What kind of code are you talking about?
The one that is saying the discount code. Something like
no, that's already applied.
That's already applied. When you buy it from the website, you're granted a code.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Kirky. Karen Morton. Hello, Karen.
Hello, everybody. How are y'all?
Hi, Karen.
Good. How are you?
Thank y'all for all you do. I have a couple of questions today.
Sure.
Assuming that we have a local project and a global project, and we get through the meeting, are we expected to have met with bankers and done all of that stuff prior to the meeting?
No.
Or do we wait until after we get finished?
No, because the bankers you talked to today are all in the old system. And whereas at the Redemption Center, you're talking about the new system. And that money may not actually ever land in your banker's account. It could be a completely different system. It's a digital currency after all. So no, it has nothing to do with your bankers, and don't bother going to them before. Go to the Redemption Center directly. You do not need a trust in advance. That can be set up there if you need it.
Right.
So no, it doesn't have anything to do with your existing bank.
Okay.
Now,
all right, thank you.
Now, in some cases, the redemption centers will be at banks. In the USA, I'm hearing Wells Fargo is involved in this. Then there could be some association with Wells Fargo bank accounts, but this is something which is discussed at your meeting.
Okay. My second question is, assuming you get to the meeting, what, in y'all's opinion, do you think the percentage of projects that they're going to allow, that they'll approve?
If the project is legitimate and and helps people, and they can see in you that you have an intent to do it in reality, and that you're not there just to get to take the money and run, then I think you've got a very good chance of getting it approved.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So they will be
thank
reading
y'all
your
very much. I
intentions.
appreciate it.
They'll be reading your intentions. Expect it to be approved. If you've got good intention, you've got a good project.
Oh, I'm counting on it. I'm counting on it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. But thank you, Karen. Jack, I see Jack is out on the road again. He's driving. How's it going, Jack? Nope, you're still muted, buddy. There you go.
How about that?
There you go.
Yeah.
I've been having so much trouble connecting with you guys today. I don't know what is happening. Are you having any trouble on your end today?
No.
All working well.
Everything's going fine.
Okay, cool. What, did I miss anything?
Probably.
Probably. I don't know. You know what? Would you like the Reader's Digest condensed version of what we've talked about so far?
Well, he can listen to the recording.
I've been waiting for today because I know Trump's on tonight, but
right.
Mr. C was saying that he thinks that they're waiting to finish up in Ukraine for anything to get started with the RV. Did you hear that? We've heard that too, and
I think it's all coming together nicely as far as my perspective is concerned, because you're finding out that Russians are going to the international court and presenting evidence of crimes against humanity and the biolabs and everything else with the Bidens and the Pelosi's and everybody else involved, and the UN can't defend it anymore, and so they have totally lost credibility, and so it's all coming together, but it's coming from outside sources. It's not coming from Trump himself, all right, which everybody would say, oh, that's nonsense. It's just Trump saying things just to be saying things and trying to take down the Biden administration from within. Well, the information is not coming from within. It's coming from outside sources, all right, plus the fact that you have the Durham investigation still going on and all of that from inside that is not part of Trump, okay? It is totally independent. So he's standing on the outside watching all of it happen, and all of these forces are coming in at the Biden administration from different angles, and I don't think they can defend it anymore, and I don't think the mainstream media can ignore it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, once the mainstream media, I mean, you think they'll give them a chance to tell the truth, or you think they'll just
they have to start telling the truth, otherwise they lose their broadcast license. Okay.
Yeah, though Mr. C did say he didn't think that the White Hats had that much power, but we will see.
That's right. Well, that's what Mr. C said. They don't have as much power to shut.
That's right. Yeah, I heard that too.
Their license.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but if you've noticed, with Elon Musk buying Twitter, okay, and outside forces coming in and buying up CNN here recently, all right, and exposing all the corruption that is going on in CNN. And then you have the fact that the mainstream media has been dropping truth bombs here recently. I think it's all starting to come together.
That's right. And,
great.
Yeah, and the Alliance did say some time ago that they had enough money to buy all these social media platforms, and we're actually considering doing that. So maybe this is part of that process, that they finally decided to just buy them out. I mean, it's fiat money they're using to buy it out, which is going to be worthless anyway. So they can do that.
Well, you can get CNN right now on the cheap, I'm sure, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they've lost all their viewership, so why not?
That's right.
I thought that another little tidbit Mr. C put out on Friday was he said once he puts the code in, there's not going to be any tears. The money will go out worldwide, and there's no tears. So, are we still expected to get ours before the general public, or?
Well, that's what we've been hearing.
I would think so. Okay, I mean, that's all the intel that we have been gathering, and all that we have heard is that there will be a chance for those of us who have the Zim notes and whatnot to make our appointments before it's released to the general public.
Well, yeah, I did these spreadsheets on Charlie's channel, and they have all that information on all my currency, right? So
Well, yeah, the whole thing with original drcharlieward.com, and he had you put in your Zim currency and things like that, all the serial numbers and things like that, which I did too. I don't know if that is really valid at this point, because that all of that information and whatnot was hijacked and has not been transferred over to charlieward.tv. I don't know where all of that is at this point. I would not put any validity into what was old on drcharlieward.com. Okay. And just go with the idea of you need to be your own person, okay, regarding doing your own appointment and holding on to your own currency and all of the serial numbers, therefore. Okay.
Right. Yes. Perfect. One other tidbit Mr. C put out. He said that they were not having trouble, but they were trying to make sure that all the 401ks and the IRAs were finished with.
Right.
In other words, oh, you did hear that as well? Okay.
Yes, I did hear all of that. They're trying to make sure that the 401ks and the pensions and things of that nature are all taken care of, because that was a big question mark. All right.
Yes.
For everything.
Yes.
So I'm taking all of that with a grain of salt as well. All right. My hope is that they do get all of that taken care of, but that has been one big question mark that has been left out there that nobody has really explained in detail.
Okay. And then did you guys hear anything on Iraq today at all?
Yes,
Iraq
they've
is
signed up.
Yeah, Iraq is signed off. We don't know about Venezuela as yet. The question,
well, that's great news.
All right, but the Iraq has signed off. Okay.
But
and
no
whether
Venezuela or Israel.
Well, Venezuela and Iran were the two question marks that we knew of, not Israel.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Thank you, Jack. Drive safe.
You bet. All right. Okay, see you later.
Cajun girl.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yep, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me get out of this room with a loud TV. Okay, I had a question. About a year and a half ago, I, of course, was listening to Dr. Charlie Ward, and he had been talking about the Zims for a while, and it took me a couple of months to figure out what is he talking about. And then I realized, you can go ahead and purchase these. And I'm not a greedy person or anything. And I know that the reevaluation is going to happen and we're going to go to 1950s prices. So I was like, I can buy 10 $500 million Zims. So I went ahead and did that. And he never specified whether it was AA or AB. He just said, this is going to reevaluate. And so my question is, why are AB not valid? The AB series.
Good. It's a good question. We've
been told that.
He did say this at a later time, but I agree. At the beginning, he just said the Zim bonds, and it's only later that we were told it should be the 100 trillion note and it should be the AA 2008 series. I think maybe he didn't know better. It's like we didn't know either until we heard that. So I think it's just a matter of the information just coming out too slowly.
The first person that ever said it has to be 100 trillion was Ron Giles.
And Ron Giles is pretty well informed on these things. I mean, he's been following it for a very long time.
Okay, he's been following it, but I've listened to him say, I'm not connected with anyone. I'm simply spiritual and I get my information from the spiritual realm. So if he admits that he's not connected to anyone, where's he pulling all these numbers from?
That is a good question.
I don't know the answer to that.
We can't answer for what Ron Giles knows. Or
I've never spoken to him.
The only information
I wanted to make.
Yeah, the only information that we have is that as far as Zimbabwe notes or bearer bonds are concerned, they have to be the 2008 AA series. Now, that is the only information that I have ever heard of. Okay. And so I don't know about the AB, AZ, or ZA or anything else. The only thing that I have ever heard was 2008 AA series.
Now in the chat, I can see Marilyn Ali saying they will be accepting AA and AB. I don't know where she's getting that information from. So
yeah, and Rebecca says take your notes in with you with a clear, heartfelt intention and see how it goes. I would agree with that.
That's right. Yeah, I would certainly take them with you, and maybe they won't care.
I would too. I simply just went ahead and purchased some more just in case AA or AB was not accepted. And also, I just wasn't sure. We're hearing all this stuff about 30 million for 100T note.
That's
and
right.
People are just throwing numbers out there, but there's no corroboration. So I'm going to go in with an I'm going to go in with an open heart. And I purchased a few more, but this 100 trillion thing, I wonder if it's not a trap for people who are greedy. That's all I'm saying.
It could
They've
be.
heard 30 million.
It very well could be. All right. I don't know, but I'm going into it with the idea of I'm not being greedy.
I think the only trap is yourself, because they will be reading your intentions. That, you know, at the meeting, the money is really a side note. What they'll be doing is they'll be looking at how honest your plan is, what your plan, you know, what if you really have a burning desire to do what you're talking about, or whether you're just there to say, oh, I'll just say any old junk just to get the money.
I totally agree. And so I just wanted to calm everybody's nerves. And spiritually, I'm connected too. I'm a member of Connecting Consciousness, but I've been a light worker for a long time. And I am not getting that it has to be 100 trillion. So whoever put that out there, you know, unless they say who their sources was, everybody just calm down, get whatever you can afford, and go to the meeting with an open heart.
Well, yeah, I'm trusting Charlie a bit on this, because he does say he is connected with the guys in Reno who are organizing this, and he does have the title of being the person who's distributing this. So
right, he never said
and we're getting the same information from Mark Z. Okay, yeah. We've gotten the same information from Simon. We have gotten the same information from Chaz Carter. You know, and these are, you know, well-informed individuals.
They never said 100 trillion, did they?
Yes.
Yes, they have.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
Yes, they have.
Oh, huh. Well, said it a little late. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. No one else has their hand raised right now.
No one else.
Let's address a couple of things that were out there. Yes, we did have an earthquake here in Missouri, about 5 miles centered from my house.
Oh.
All right. And it was, it started out as a huge explosion. All right. It was definitely an explosion that happened. And then it shook everything very violently for about 3 or 4 seconds.
Right.
Again, this was centered about 5 miles from my house in an area known as Valley Park, Missouri. Now, in Valley Park, Missouri, there is an industrial dumping site that I know of, but also in that same area was where the old Chrysler truck plant used to be. And they tore that down. Whenever they tore that down, they did an awful lot of digging, and they did an awful lot of under stuff. But that is also where the new Amazon distribution hub and FedEx distribution hubs were built, okay, which have direct access to the river. All right. And I always thought, all right, something's happening here. I don't know why FedEx and Amazon are moving into this area right here, but it was centered in that area, and we don't have earthquakes in that particular area, especially only 1.7 kilometers deep. That was the original report. You don't have earthquakes 1.7 kilometers deep at all. All right. Here in St. Louis, we are off to the east, or excuse me, off to the west of the main New Madrid fault, okay, which is the largest fault line in the United States. We have spurs coming off. In fact, one of them runs right underneath my house, all right, of the major fault lines. And I can show you out in High Ridge, Missouri, where they cut Highway 30 through, the actual tectonic plates. And you can actually see in where they cut the highway through High Ridge, the tectonic plates and where they come together. All right. And it is very interesting to see. We've had tremors out here for years. It happens all the time, not anything very major, but this was the first time that I have ever heard an explosion like that and then be reported as an earthquake. So I'm thinking it was something else, especially when they reported
dams being destroyed.
I'm thinking it was dams being destroyed down in Valley Park.
Although they're normally 10 kilometers down, but that doesn't matter. It could be a different level there. Whoever, it sounds like dams because those things are happening worldwide in places which would not normally have earthquakes, and it's just the underground tunnels being destroyed by the rods of God or whatever they're using.
Well, I didn't see any rods of God coming down or anything like that. I was outside at the time. You know, you'd think I would have seen something coming down from space.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
we will see. All right, somebody's got their hand raised. It just says iPad Dom. Okay, so iPad Dom, is that you?
Yes, this is me.
Is your name Dom?
Don, D-O-N.
Okay, hi Don. All right, what you got for us today?
Well, I was listening last week about the appointment when we go, and there was mentioned that there would be a background paperwork, and I was wondering if you had any more information on that.
No background checks need to be done at this point. They will know everything about you whenever you set your appointment.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good. Okay. And this will be, we'll be able to exchange our dinars, dongs, and everything at our Zim appointments, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct. Bring it all with you.
Bring everything with you.
So no background report needed at that time.
No.
No,
Yeah,
they'll do that themselves.
Yeah, they will. Once you set your appointment and they have your information, they will do all of that themselves. Yes.
Okay. Thank you guys for all the work.
All right. Thank you, Don. Susan Meaton.
Hello. Thank you for all you do. I really love your shows. Very good information.
Where are you based, Susan?
At the moment, I'm in Vienna. But normally I live in Australia, but because I'm not vaccinated and Victoria is a bit difficult to get there,
yes,
I prefer to stay in Vienna for the moment.
Wise lady.
Yeah, bit challenging. My question is, my SIM note is still in the mail. What do I do if it doesn't arrive in time?
Where did you buy it from?
Peter's somewhere. I think in America.
Peter's banknotes. Is that?
Yes.
That's on eBay, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, I've used them before. They're normally reliable.
Yeah.
When did you buy them?
When? Probably 2 weeks ago.
You should have got them by now.
Yeah, they say it's in transit, and I know the first time when I bought some dinar. And I got into troubles with the customs.
Yeah,
so they really wanted to know why I'm buying currency.
All right. Did they give you tracking numbers and stuff like that from the,
Yes, but it's in transit. They say it's in transit.
Okay.
Well, I've used them before. Some of my notes comes from that company.
Yeah.
And they were always reliable.
Yes,
and they got excellent ratings.
I don't mistrust them. I really trust them. But what do I do if it doesn't come in time and I have to go to the appointment?
Well, first of all, if it's not delivered, then they will send you another set. But I say at the end of the day, customs is always an issue. For me, Peter's banknote is actually based in Germany. So there is no customs involved. It's just, they just send it straight to me. Do you know somebody in Germany?
No, she's gone to Mexico.
Oh, right. So you don't know anybody who lives in, because they could then send that to a friend of yours who then send it on to you,
Okay.
maybe separately. Then it would be a private letter as opposed to a
Yeah.
letter from a company.
Yeah, but the time I'm running really now out of time. What do I do?
Well, ask them if they can send you the serial number of the notes you have.
Okay. Okay, that's a possibility.
That's ability. Then you've got at least something, and speak to them. Ask them how they can help you in this.
Okay.
Maybe they can
Right.
send you another one.
Good. Thank you. Okay.
All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. All right. Appreciate it. Nobody else has their hand raised. We are, we're just going to up. There's Delise. Hello,
Delise. I
Delise.
was wondering when she was going to appear.
Yep.
How are you all? Nice to
Good.
see you.
Okay.
No, I had the same problem as the lady before. And can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, carry on.
Okay. And I also am waiting. I ordered from one company and waited about a month and it didn't come and there was a problem, they said, on their end. So they refunded the money and then I ordered from another company and it's been sitting in the same city for about 10 days. And so they said it's a problem with customs. So it's okay. It is a possibility to go to the meetings with just the serial numbers. If I could get the serial numbers from these people.
Well, that will certainly help. Having the currency is, of course, better.
Best, yeah.
But you can explain that customers is holding it up if you can get any kind of documentation on that. But having the numbers are important.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's very, very encouraging. Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much for all you do.
Thank you, Delise. How are things in Israel today?
Very, very nice. Good weather. Beautiful spring weather.
Right.
And yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a good spring. It's a hot in the day and cool in the evening in Jerusalem.
Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds nice.
That's very nice. Yeah.
All right. But thank you,
Yeah.
Delise. Good luck to
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Somebody said James Reap had his hand up. I do
Yeah,
not see.
I see him waving his hand. Yes.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm calling from New York.
Right.
All right, James. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So what can we do for you?
I got provoked into asking another question about the ZIM. I do have my 108 AA $100 trillion ZIM note.
Right.
But before that, I had bought 10 $10 trillion bills that are AA and 2008. What should I do with them?
They're
Bring them
just
with
as
you.
Bring with you. They're just as valid.
Yes.
Should I give them to my wife and have her make her own appointment?
You can also do that. Yeah.
You could do that. Yeah, sure.
I don't see a difference between 10 trillion and 100 trillion.
Okay. All right.
I also have some 10 trillion notes.
The only other thing I was thinking about was if I could make my appointment and then make my wife's appointment later than mine, I could take them to my appointment, find out what to do with them, and then I might be able to either use them at the meeting or give them to my wife for her meeting.
What I would do is when you make your appointment and you can talk to the people, ask them that question. And they will be able to help you because they know their policy better than we do.
Right.
Yeah. Because I had done the same thing that the other woman had done. I bought the 100 trillion, but it was in 2006. And then I bought the 10 trillion, and then I wound up buying the 100 trillion. So the same thing happened to me that happened to her.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we've heard shipping arrangements from eBay people and having problems. I mean, some people got them real quick. Other people just they're delayed for some reason. Don't know why.
All right. Well, I love you guys. You do great stuff for the world.
All right. Thank you, James. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All right.
bye-bye.
Thank you.
That's
Bye-bye.
right.
We've had some things happen with, the whole connecting consciousness thing where Simon did his whole, how should I put this? He kind of slammed Missouri in our CC group here in Missouri for what was going on, what was going on with certain coordinators or regional coordinators here in St. Louis and in Kansas City. And I just felt that it was the way he did it in his news briefing was a little bit high schoolish and TikTokish and didn't really resonate with me too well. I thought it could have been handled with a lot more discretion, a lot more decorum, and not calling out the specific group by name. And that is my issue with everything. Whether or not he decides to let coordinators go, that is up to him because it's his organization. I just did not like the way it was done and how he publicly slammed Missouri several times in his news briefing.
Yeah, I say I don't know the background to that, so it's very hard to comment. I've always had positive contacts with the Connecting Consciousness. In fact, I see that they're going to be doing a meeting in Cologne, where I live, and I've already registered to go to that. That's going to be interesting. That's in May. I say there is a lot of things happening. I know I get a lot of messages from people who are sort of frustrated, and it's very understandable because of all the delays. But in retrospect, there's a reason for every delay there's been, and I think they were spoon feeding it to us in order to help us sort of build up and get the numbers there, and basically because they couldn't do anything else, because they're in a battle with the deep state, and the deep state has been fighting back, and things have been taking longer than planned. And I think those people who are just looking at the money and not into their projects, what we can do, are maybe missing the point slightly. Now, I do understand if you're desperate, you haven't got any money in your bank account, and you've got bills to pay, and that money is sort of an extremely urgent issue. But that applies to many of us. But here we're getting something which we would not normally have planned of ever having gotten. Things are coming our way, and it'll come. I think, well, I'm pretty sure that May is now our month, and I know we've been pretty sure in the past. But at the end of the day, it's a fight between the deep state and us, and the deep state have been resourceful in trying to delay this as long as possible. And it's just a matter of, are we finally there? I think so. I don't know when in May. A lot of people say the 5th could be. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. And we try to give as best intel as we possibly can. And so do a lot of other people. But the thing about it is that you have to take what resonates with you. If it doesn't sit well with you, or if you have questions about what is being said, raise those questions. All right, because we don't want to be in the position of being in lockstep with anyone. All right, it is always best to question those people who are giving the intel that say they are leaders or what have you, because if we don't, we digress back into the same situation that got in where we are now, by not questioning our leaders, by not putting their feet to the fire and holding them responsible for what they are doing on our behalf when they are elected. You have to pay attention. You have to get involved. And I know there are a lot of distractions out there, and there's a lot of misinformation, but you really have to pray for wisdom and discernment regarding all things, and also pray for a will to just do good in God's name. All right. And I think that's the most important thing that everybody keeps missing in all of this. We get all caught up in the monetary aspects of it, and that's not what this is all about. And I'm in the same boat with a lot of you. Okay, I don't make that much money. In fact, I'm on disability, and it's really, really tight. I know it. But we all come together and we all help each other out, and that's what this is all about.
That's right. Yeah, we all need money. I need money. Everybody needs money. Yeah, But at the end of the day, we're doing our best, and hold tight. You know, I've often noticed that shortly before an event happens, that's when people get the most nervous, because they're, you know, the sooner you get, you're more, oh, I need my money, you know, everybody gets a bit jumpy, and then they're worried about every second which gets delayed. And I think this is what we're going through right now. I think we're on the verge of this happening. The same thing happened, by the way, when Kuwait revalued a long time ago. There also, I mean, there weren't that many people who knew about it, but there were some people. And even on the morning that it revalued, they were saying, oh, it's never going to happen. It's going to be 3 years from now or whatever. And then it just revalued. And I think we're going through that at the moment. You're going to have a lot of naysayers trying to put people off and trying to disrupt things. And, you know, just have faith. Don't worry. Keep watching our show. Keep watching Charlie. Keep watching David and all the other guys who you can trust. And in the end of the day, have the faith. It's happening. We're on the right track. And we're going to have a golden future.
Right. And just stay connected with each other. All right. And that's another important thing. Reach out to people in your own community, in your own cities, states, countries, and stay connected with each other, because the more we have people come together with this, the higher we can raise our vibrations. I see John's got his hand raised. John, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Billy and Peter. Appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you.
Hi, John. Yeah, my middle name, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
so is mine, actually. My middle name is John.
Yeah, we're both.
Yeah, my middle name is Leon. So, but anyway.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes. So
anyway, I'm in Shady Cove, Oregon. Beautiful day. But the only thing I had a question is I've heard this. I watch all of the shows. I'm plugged into Mark Z, you guys, and Charlie. Those are and Chaz. But going forward, I've been getting my currency all in order, got all my receipts, and been praying about how to put my human helping mankind projects together. And just I'm going to be putting it down on paper this week. Just going to be spending some time talking to the Lord about what the vision that He's given me. And my only question, I guess I'm asking is, how detailed does it got to be, and what's the dress code you should be going in to look like? Or, you know, obviously,
I would go in smartly dressed with a suit or something. You know, obviously jeans and t-shirt is not going to leave a good impression. Just see it as any other business meeting. If we're going to a bank manager, you'd also dress better and things like that. I would just go there well dressed, not over well dressed, just, you know, standard suit, something like that. Look smart, have a good shower in the morning, and shave if you've shaved, and just go in there with a good attitude. But I think what's more important than your clothes is your attitude.
Yes.
That you go in there with a positive attitude, that you feel, or you know, that you really believe what you want to present. And
I never knew it. Go ahead, Billy.
Well, my thing is that, you know, once you put it down on paper, know it verbatim, so you don't even have to look at the paper whenever you try to explain it, and you're telling a story, all right, of what your vision is, all right. And the more you can, you know, do that and practice it, and again, the term is called canning. Okay, in a broadcasting term, where you can speak the words without even looking at anything, and tell the story from your heart. I think that's the most important thing. Okay?
Well, I look at it this way, that God has been preparing me my whole life for this moment. So I was a paramedic for 30 years, as firefighter paramedic for California, and I'm very detailed on telling the reports about patients and stuff. So I get what you're saying 100%. And I think it's just like, and I've been on many job interviews too. And so I think it'll, as God prepares my heart, I'll be ready for it. No
well, if you get your RV approved, that's the greatest job interview of your life.
Yeah, exactly. It really is. You
So,
know, that's what I'm looking forward to. I just
That's
go into it with an open heart and look at it and say, all I want to do is shelter people, feed people, give people clean water, and help them live their lives the best as they possibly can. I am going into it with the attitude of, here I am, let me serve.
yep.
Okay.
I've always had a servant's heart, man, and I've such a great time to be alive. Excited what's ahead.
absolutely, yeah.
But thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You know, I love the devotionals here, people. I love the fact that you're getting heart-centered and God-centered and everything. And it really warms my heart whenever people come together like that. And I love hearing it. You know, we always go into it. I see Joan, you got your microphone unmuted. Let's see if we can hear you now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, well, I'm actually on my smartphone now.
Okay.
That's smart.
I'm technically challenged, so my computer's not doing that well. But I have a question. I'm kind of a late arriver when it comes to the Zoom and doing the project and whatever. And I have a lady that we're pretty much doing the project together. Can she go to the meeting with me, or we do it one at the time, or how could we do that?
Well, you're both doing the same project, are you, together?
Right. It's a homeless situation. She has a small place here in town, but she really needs more room. I'm more health conscious, and I was thinking about incorporating organic food, exercise equipment, clean water, things like that, you know. And that's kind of where we're going at with that.
Okay, so how big is your project?
She says that we probably have like 360 people that come through this county that she's worked with so far a year.
Pretty small project, though.
Well, it's not terribly large, but I mean, it sounds like it's growing because she's having more people this year by a certain date than she had last year. The problem is she doesn't have room. She's not able to do it 7 days a week. She doesn't really have the facilities. She's running out of funds because she opened up a thrift shop to try to support this. And she's having to cut hours and employees and closing days. I mean, she needs some funds right now too, but she really needs a bigger place to be able to.
Yeah. But well, when you get the funds, then you'll be able to fix all that. That's not
right.
I would ask them, since you're going in and it's a joint project and it's something that is already up and running, okay, to a point, you want to make her a partner in things, of course. All right. I would ask them if she could come to the appointment with you.
Okay.
All right. They may say yes, they may say no, I don't know. Okay, but your project is worthwhile. There's no doubt about that.
That's right. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's their call. You know, we're not dictating to them how they're going to take, but it's their call. But at the end of the day, from their point of view, they have money and they want the world to be saved with humanitarian projects, and they just need people who will take some money and do the work. That's what it's about.
Well, I can't believe that we would have campsites in this county where people are actually living. You know, the homeless people are living.
Well,
we see it here in St. Louis. There was a big news article about the homeless encampments that are coming up around the St. Louis area, and they're living on the riverfronts and on spillways and things of that nature, which is really dangerous stuff, because these, or what is known as the river to pair, is more of like a spillway for everything, runoff from the sewer, from the sewer district, and the water level rises very, very rapidly, and these people could get swept away in an instant if they're not careful. So it's really more clearing those homeless encampments out is really more for their own safety than it is anything else, but they have nowhere to go. And that's something that we all need to concentrate on and get people into good, affordable housing, or at least some place where they can, rest of their head without having to worry about being swept away by a flood.
Well, in our area, you're talking about mosquitoes and heat
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
just filth, no plumbing, can't take a bath. I mean, until I spoke with Chris about this problem, you know, I didn't know all this stuff was going on. And I
Oh,
would
yeah.
be willing to give her my Zim and just let her go with it, you know, if they won't see both of us.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think your project is worthwhile, and they will no doubt fund that. And once you get something of, of size going, maybe for 1,000 people or something like that, then you just model it and you move on into another area where you can start up another project of the same, just model it, okay, and copy it and paste it somewhere else.
Well, I think one thing too is, you know, the housing seems to be the problem right now, but also doing the program to transition these individuals, you know, with training or whatever they might need, you know, to get
Teaching
out
them
in the
life
field.
skills, teaching them something
Right.
that they can do out in the community and whatnot. That is the major portion of it. Is not just, you don't just give it away. They have to earn it.
Right.
Okay. And
It's
they
not
have
a
to
hand,
become,
it's not, right.
it's
Go
not a
ahead.
handout, it's a helping hand up. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but
To-
but Billy, when you say it that way, you're still in the 3D world, and
well, yes, I am. That's true.
It's about the human development in the future, not so much about your ability to earn money.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here for a purpose. And I think a lot of this is about us being enabled to do what we really feel in our hearts we want to do, not because not things which we can afford to do, because that's restricting us now. But you may, for example, have this dream of creating something really great, which is really important, great, and you have all these ideas in your head and you've worked it out what you're to do, but you don't have the money to start it up. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. That people who have these great ideas, this great feeling, you know, saying, you know, these burning desire to do something, that they get the money they need to fulfill their dreams and help humanity at the same time. That's how I understand the revaluation.
Oh, yeah.
I see money as something like electricity. When you have it, you don't care about, you know, where it is. You just plug something in. It's when you don't have it that you start worrying about, oh, where can I get electricity? Well, the same with money. Because we've been starved of money so much by the deep state, then everybody's so centered on money, whereas money is just a means to an end.
Right. And when I'm talking about giving a helping hand up and teaching a life skill or something like that, I'm talking about the concept of paying it forward. All right. Where these people go out into the community, all right, and help people with stuff that they need done. All right. Whether it be teaching them how to farm or teaching them how to do carpentry, to teach them how to do plumbing and things of that nature, and going out in the community and actually helping people that need this type of work done, putting a new roof on or something like that for somebody who needs it, or somebody who needs mechanical help of some sort. And you're providing these services for free, okay, because you know how to do them. All right. And you're there to give somebody else a helping hand. All right. And that, I think that's what we really need to concentrate on is being able to help each other with life's little challenges.
Well, one thing, you know, when I mentioned the number of people, you know, and you said that that wasn't a very big project, but if you're talking about acquiring the land, building a building, putting a restaurant in there, maybe some exercise equipment, a conference room for maybe somebody to come in and help with the life skills, all kind of things like that, you know, I mean, I know it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it's like a lot of money if you're trying to already,
Sure.
you know, take care of somebody out of a thrift store and she doesn't have the funds to actually do what she's doing right now because they're in such a small place.
Yeah, exactly. But what you're talking about and your vision is really great. And that those are things that you need to develop on. And work all those little logistic things out and it will all come together. Okay, build a team. You know, it's not just you and her at this point. You need to build a team of other people in your community that want to help out with this. All right, that have the necessary skills to get things done. And it's not just one or two people. It takes an entire team of people to put something like that together. And so, you know, I would reach out to a bunch of different people in your area who would really like to help out with this and know how to do things.
And another thing that you might know about, another thing that bothered me was, you know, Peter had mentioned about cleaning up the environment.
Yes.
Our water system in this little town it's deplorable with fluoride and chlorine.
Sure.
And I know that's affecting people's health tremendously. You know, and of course I can't go with another project or whatever. I guess we can get filtered what we put in the home that we're going to build. But that was another thing. Do y'all know, is the ozone a very good way of purifying water, or is there something else out there that's much better?
There's a special water filter, reverse osmosis, which will get rid of all the junk in the water.
Maybe we can figure out a way. Maybe we can figure out a way of industrializing the hydration app. You know,
it's been done
to do it on large scales. You know,
no, they're already doing that. They sell a system for farmers.
Oh, really?
And it increases the crop yield by about 30%.
That's so nice. They're doing reverse osmosis in a large scale. You mean like for 25 or 30,000 people?
No, I think we're mixing two things. Billy was talking about the hydration app, and the hydration app is this. And I'm just saying that this process is available for farmers on a larger scale. The reverse osmosis is a thing you can put under your tap in your kitchen, and so that your water that you have at home is then very clean. And that's something everybody can do if they're worried about their personal water supply. You can get one of these. It's going to cost you, say, $300 or $400 for such a system. Now, if you can do this on a larger scale, well, possibly. I've never tried.
Right. But we're talking about, you know, 6,000 technologies that are going to be released, you know, plus the med beds and things of that nature. So that may all come out whenever those technologies are released.
That's right. Yeah. So I think we have a very golden future, and I think a lot of things are going to change in our lives.
Well, that sounds good. Sounds good.
And I think it's going to be up to people like us, our channel, and other people's channels to help you guys get through understanding it all. I think. I mean,
and it's going to be a large education process.
That's right. Yes.
We really do appreciate both of you for what you're doing, you know, and sharing information, because you go into everything in more of a depth than we're getting in other places. And so that is, I want to commend you for that. I really do.
Well, and we expect everybody to bring their own knowledge and talents to this, you know, to this forum that we've created here. So, you know, because Peter and I don't know it all. All right. Nobody does. So the more we can share ideas and come together, the better that we're going to make this all.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I think that we understand things better is because we're both technically orientated, and I'm certainly someone who understands technology to a great degree, and which other broadcasters just may not have the technical background. So maybe that's the difference. I'm used to deep diving into information and finding out what the latest, even these microphones which I got for the show, I went to great depths to find out, you know, where the pros and cons are, and whether it's the right technology and whether it's going to work. And you know, I just like to understand things right down to the lowest level. Now, most people are not like that. You know, most people just say, "Oh, just buy it and then use it," and if it doesn't work, well, then complain.
All right. But
okay, question.
Yeah.
Let me ask Peter this. Right at the very bottom of your forum page, it mentions something about signal. Is there an amount that we have to pay or anything for us to be, you know, tied into signal with you?
Signal is free.
No, Signal is absolutely free. In fact, I'll put Peter's group information here on Signal in the chat.
No, there's no charge for using Signal. The question is, should we be using Signal for chit chat? I think we shouldn't be spreading ourselves too thinly, and if possible, move the communications to the best platform, which I think is the forum. And I want to concentrate a little bit more on answering questions on the forum, because I know I have personally been a bit more focused on answering questions on Telegram and than I have on the forum, because I've just been so overloaded in other things to do. And
okay, one last question. What's I don't know that much about Telegram. Where do I go, or what do I do to get on exactly the way I need to be on?
Telegram.org. Do not download it from Apple or Google Play Store. Okay.
Okay.
Go directly to telegram.org and download it from them directly, because the app that you'll find through Apple and through Google can be infiltrated and censored.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
It's more a matter of the fact that some groups are not available on those, and the restrictions are mostly gone on the one you read from the website, except for RT. RT is also censored on all platforms.
Yeah, still does. All right. But thank you, Joan. Appreciate it.
Oh,
Gaydon,
thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Our pleasure. Gaydon, go ahead.
Yes, reverse osmosis can be used for large scale water treatment. I went to an island in the Bahamas, and that's how they use seawater to convert their drinking water through reverse osmosis.
Yeah, and most cruise ships
for the
do
whole
same
island.
thing. Yeah.
So it can be, it is done. So she might want to investigate that.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I do have a comment about what Michelle Fielding, and nobody seems to say anything about it. She said Biden was a white hat.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
Well, I can understand how that could be. Yeah, let me explain. The real Biden is long gone. Yeah, whether he's still alive or in a coma in some hospital or something, I don't know. But the Biden we're seeing on TV is an actor. So what she could be referring to is the fact that the actor playing Biden is a white hat, and he's playing a role on behalf of the alliance in order to help wake people up, because he's making a lot of goofs, which the real Biden wouldn't have made, but get out truths to the people listening to Biden. So I think if Biden is a white hat, it's the actor or actors playing Biden, which are white hats just pretending to be dark hats.
Well, Biden's always made a lot of goofs.
Oh yeah, he's been on the wrong side of every major decision in the history of his tenure with Congress. So
anyway, okay,
right.
Thank you.
But thank you, Gaydon. Esoteric Vibes is the name here. Okay.
That sounds interesting.
That sounds interesting. All right. What is your name, dear?
Hi, my name is Daisy. Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes. Where are you?
Okay.
Very good. So my intention is to open a healing center. I provide hypnosis, Akashic readings, past life regression sessions, basically. Lots of energy work. I'm also a clear conduit channel. So my question is, even though it is a facility, I still have to purchase supplies on a continued basis, because I also provide art therapy. So the canvases, the brushes, the paints, and all that, to do weekend events or group events. There are also yoga mats that need to be purchased, rugs and that type of thing. So I understand that I have to pay taxes for these things, but how do I supply for that when I also have to pay taxes for that, but yet I'm not supposed to pay, charge for these specific services? Or am I supposed to charge a flat fee just to cover these supplies? How is that going to work? Since
are you talking about
the business portion is not going to be existent anymore?
All right, you're talking about from when you have using Zim bonds to finance your project. Is that right?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Okay. I assume you have 100 trillion note.
I don't. I have a couple of have a 10 trillion, a 5 trillion, a 20 trillion. I probably have like 2 of those for
Okay.
each, and maybe some smaller denominations of 5 million, 10 million,
Okay,
and 20 million.
Okay, whatever you have. The idea is that you will be given a sum of money for your personal use. Based on 100 trillion, you get 30 cents per million. So you can work that out for the currency. So 100 trillion would mean 30 million. So the idea is you get this money to cover all your own personal costs. In your business plan, you write down and itemize all the items you need for running your business. So that would include all the materials that you need, all the room costs and whatever. Taxes will be going away except for sales tax. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
For on non-essential new items.
So
Okay.
and if these are essential items for our business, maybe I don't know if they will be charged tax or not, maybe. But basically your payment is the 30 million based on 100 trillion, which you can use for your personal use. With that, you can live a long time without ever having to worry about earning money.
Well, I'm not concerned about living. I'm concerned about being able to sustain the business through the life of the business, because apparently we're supposed to either get installments or a lump sum for the life of the existence of the business itself. But yet I'm not supposed to charge the public for these services.
No,
is that true?
With the ZIM projects, you're not going to get a big lump sum. You're going to be given money on over a monthly or a quarterly basis. So basically you say, I have a project over say 50 years or 100 years, and you put in your business plan what you will need to sustain the business for over this period. And the idea is that then you will be given this money as it's needed according to your plan.
I see. So I have to calculate basically how much money I use on supplies every month, and then calculate that for, I don't know, 50 years, 30 years.
Yeah, what I would do is slightly exaggerate because costs are always going to change, and you may want to expand the business. So I would work out what you think you need and then double it.
I see. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I got it. All right. Thank you so
the
much.
idea is you get the money from the ZIM fund to be able to run your business so that you can be humanitarian and provide it free of charge to the end user.
So employees do not get paid? I mean, not every employee is going to be able to get 50.
Well, sure,
you
they're
just
gonna
cost
get
that
paid.
in. Cost that into cost the employees into your plan.
So how do I calculate, I don't want to say inflation, like pardon the 3D terminology, but if we're paying 17% tax, working class people under the age of 50 cannot live with $20 an hour.
Well, you got to
things
remember
changing.
too that prices are going to change.
I see.
We're
The
not
cost
going to
of
be.
living is going to change.
The cost of living is going to change because we're going to be going back to 1950s prices.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We're moving
All
into a
right.
world of abundance, and money will no longer be important in the future, as I see it.
Exactly.
It's all about fulfilling your dreams in a good way.
All right. But thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
it. We got
You're
time for
welcome.
one more. Barbara. Hello, Barbara.
Good morning or good afternoon, Billy and Peter. Actually, there is a newer report out from Judy. It's dated today, and it has some different information on the ZIMs and how they will be processed.
Right. Maybe I haven't seen that yet.
No, I was like, he's reading yesterday or the day before.
Well, that was the latest I could find.
Well, I actually go to the website and I hit all news, and then I look for the
So do I. So do I. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what did you find?
Yes, there is a new one which came out, which has come out since.
If you have a specific humanitarian project or funding, your ZIM would redeem at 1-to-1. So if you have 100 trillion, you're going to get 100 trillion. If you,
I
That
don't
will be
know.
hard to believe.
But
Yeah.
me
Now
too.
for a
I'm like,
project that may be so, okay.
right.
But for
It said for
personal use,
humanitarian. No. It says
yeah,
for a specific humanitarian project. It
right.
says if you don't have a humanitarian project, you will be given the ZIM default rate. And then
Right.
it says your ZIM default redemption amount will be put into a digital mother load account in the QFS that only you have access to.
Correct.
If you have a specific humanitarian project, you will not have a long-term payout. Instead, 10% of your ZIM redemption amount will be taken out of your mother load account and put into a working account in your bank of your choice.
Mhm.
And you will negotiate the interest rate anywhere from 6.5% to 10%. So they are, I've always heard it would be a monthly thing for your project, but it seems, at least Bruce is saying, oh, it might be a lump sum. I don't know. But what I plan on doing, because I don't know what to pay someone for a salary, I'm going to, in my meeting, ask for a financial advisor or
Mhm.
someone to help me, because I don't know, are my supplies going to cost the same as they do now? If I want to buy or rent a building, what
Right.
is it going to cost? I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Okay, but in your
So-
report, you can only write at based on what you know now. They will know
Exactly.
that things will change. They can have, but so just write it based on today's costs, today's assessment. You can't judge for the future. None of us have crystal
Right, none of
balls.
us can. But,
Right.
I mean, the last person was asking, well, with not inflation, but whatever.
Well, inflation, I don't think it's going
we
to happen
don't know.
anymore. There will
Right.
be no more inflation.
Right.
Okay.
But I think they'd be more than happy to give you someone to help. What is a
Yeah,
good
sure.
salary,
Sure.
a good living salary in
Right.
St. Louis, Missouri, etc.
Right. I would just
So-
base it off $52,000 a year and just go with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Random numbers. All right.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
All right. Thank you, Barbara. See you soon.
Thanks.
All right. Well, Peter, it's that magical time to wrap things up. Any final thoughts on the day?
Well, yes. First things, we won't have a show on Thursday. So if you're looking for a show on Thursday, there won't be one. Very simple reason. I'm going to be packing, getting ready for Birmingham, and I just won't have the time because I'm leaving Friday morning. So I wouldn't have the time to process the video in time to release it. And so no show on Thursday. But instead we're having a super show on Sunday. And I will, if I can, try and get some interviews made on a one-to-one basis with people there and maybe release that as an extra video. My notebook is probably not really very good for video editing, so I don't know whether I'll be able to do that while I'm there. I may put together that video when I get back to Germany. I'm flying back on Monday night. So it could be then in the following week that then those videos start appearing. So I'm obviously greatly excited about this event. We're going to meet some great people, and it's going to be very interesting few days, I think.
Oh yeah, it should be. I wish I could be there, but I can't get a passport in time.
Yeah, that's
we looked into that, and I could not get one in time.
Yeah, it's such a shame, but
yeah,
maybe next time.
Maybe next time. I'm definitely going to apply for my passport this week just so I have it. So when all this happens, well, maybe we won't need passports in the future. Don't know.
Who knows?
All
The
right.
world is certainly changing because passports is something put out by the cabal, isn't it? It's based on your birth certificate and stuff.
Exactly. But anyway, thanks for showing up here today, folks. Really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Sunday when we do the show live from Birmingham.
From Birmingham,
Okay?
Birmingham, UK, not Alabama.
Birmingham, UK. All right.
Yeah.
Everybody wave bye-bye.
Bye-bye,
All right.
everybody, and see you
Bye-bye,
there.
Jillian. Good to see you, Helen. Lucinda. I see Kay Grindel, Scarlett there. Abby, Al. Good to see.
Maybe Trump will give us something great tonight. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
Trump, the Trump rally in Nebraska today. Okay, I'll be watching it. But thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I look forward to meeting everybody in Birmingham who's going to be there.
Yeah.